Gen AI is infiltrating the art space in general, but it is infiltrating the brush space as well. And this is something that one of you guys actually sent me. So, what are brushes on Procreate? Brushes on Procreate are things that artists sell, which, like the name explains, these are brushes that you can use to draw in your own art process. This is not the artist we're talking about today. This is an artist I really like. They stopped posting in 2020. I've been following them for ages. They make this really cute, like semi-realism art that's very sparkly. And they are one of the artists. I've used their brushes in my process long ago because I really love their brushes. I love their art style. But this is just something that artists will sell. You know, you can buy brush packs, 29 brushes, 20 brushes, whatever, for different things. So she'll sell brushes like skin textures, brushes for glazing glitter on your lips, etc. We are talking about this person that's one of you guys sent me on Instagram by the name of Riva Brush. Now, don't send hate to them because this is just to make you guys aware of false advertising in products. They are an account which claims to sell brushes that you can then use in your art process. As we're scrolling, things might already look a little bit suspicious to you. Their account's like very first video was actually selling you like a digital habit tracker, and they claim to give it to you for free, which is cool if you DM them. And then they started posting these videos about brushes that you could buy for your art process. So this one, 203 animal texture brushes. Now, what's kind of interesting is how they're selling the brushes. Now, artists who sell the brushes, typically what they do is they will draw an art piece and they will show you the fact they've used their brushes in the process. There are infamous creators who do this, like Yelenas, but there are very legit artists who sell brushes like Tauzipai, who's been doing it since forever, probably since like 2016 if I remember correctly. But they just do it as part of their art process, they show it. This creator is interesting in that they show you their brushes being used. The art style changes from video to video. Here they have other videos showcasing the same art piece with different brushes. This is like a tie-dye brush, also a tie-dye brush. But one thing you'll notice is the art piece in quotes in the background, where you can't sometimes tell the clearest if an image is smaller or like shown in a smaller way in the Instagram reel and it's not like full screen. But the image in the background is very definitely AI. I say this with like 100% certainty. You look at the hair, it's doing the looping thing where the hair is coming back out, going back into the head again, all really loopy. The necklace doesn't actually fully connect. There's like a broken chunk of the necklace, and don't even ask me what's happening with the belt buckles going down on the bottom. And then they have other art pieces where they're showing you how to use the brush. And what I think is interesting is when you go piece by piece through their videos showing you the brushes, the art style changes video by video. This is now a very different style than the first piece that you saw. And again, of course, artists can completely change their process. They can change their style. It's not like illegal to do that. That's not what I'm saying. It just typically doesn't really look like a different person drew it. You know, that's not something you often see. And again, the reason why I'm pulling up this artist's work is that when they sell their brushes, they typically always will advertise with their own artwork. Like if you look at Tauzapai's stuff, like their brushes, this is all their artwork that they're using to advertise the brushes. They've been drawing in the style, like Tauza, by the way, has been drawing in the style since literally forever. So since like 2015. So this is a bit odd to me when I see that. And then we get more videos like this, where I think this is just interesting. They show you how to like draw the hair using their brush, but nobody paints hair this way, I feel like, you know? It looks like, because the hair has like a start and an end. It starts on your scalp and it ends wherever it ends. I just think it's funny because this is another video where they're doing the same thing. Like, oh, look at how you can like use a clipping mask and then use my brush to paint hair in here, which looks pretty unnatural. But I just think it's funny because later, this is now a year later in like May, they have a video where they do the exact same thing. Wait, let me refresh it. And they tell you not to do it. Wait, here, look. They do this, they like paint it on, and they're like, no, don't do it like this. Wasn't that what you were advertising initially with your brushes? But I don't know. I just thought it was funny that they have this where they literally tell you not to do what they were telling you to do with their brushes earlier. And then they have graphics like these where they're advertising their brushes. And here, this is a 592 universal brushes for lace, which is a lot of brushes. Typically, people probably don't have that much time to make that many lace textures, but like maybe you do, right? But what I just find is interesting is the fact that the images used to advertise these brushes are AI. We have, again, odd elements with the hair detailing that is not fully detailed. Like there's this like some leaf that is stuck in her hair, like a flower. The hair is coming out of nowhere. The earring is like a fish hook that's jabbing into her neck. Eyes, two different colors, but without like a solid reason as to why it's two different colors. More very AI-esque images in the advertisement of the product. And I feel like, at least for me, if you're selling a product that is artwork, right? When you sell the brushes, I would assume the unspoken advertisement is you made these brushes yourself and you're selling it to other artists to purchase and use in their artwork. But people aren't going to believe that you legitimately made the brushes yourself if all of your advertisement is Gen AI, right? We have more like this. This is the same issue with the other artist, Yelenast. If you guys don't know, they are a quite infamous artist because they've been exposed in the past for AI. I myself have made videos about them. The thing about it is the fact that they also sell brushes, but they do it in a very misleading way where instead of using the brushes to draw, they actually use the brushes to erase instead. And you might be like, well, how is that a problem? Well, because it's false advertising. They're making it seem like with their magical brush set, you too can draw as good as them, when that's not actually what's happening. And that is also the slight concern with this type of advertisement as well, at least in my mind when it comes to stuff like this, because again, it's a false advertisement. And then also because you are selling to artists and there is question of legitimacy in your own work. You know, we have a couple more examples of the very AI-esque styling. Here we have a very suspiciously AI looking baby. All of a sudden, another art style, very suspiciously AI looking as well. But then we get to this, which I feel like is a very strong smoking gun. Here, they're showing you their 90 cute animal brush set. Those brushes are AI. That is very, very AI. Now, this is a bit suspicious because here we have a koala. Our koala has two eyebrows. Our koala has this eyebrow. It also has this eyebrow. That's a bit odd. The koala has 4 toes on this foot, 5 toes on this foot. Our penguin has feet that do not look like penguin feet. Penguin feet are essentially kind of like clawed. They're kind of similar to chicken feet in some aspects. This is with my mouse, so it looks really janky. But it's kind of something like this, okay? They don't have feet looking akin to what a koala looks like. Yeah, the penguin feet, most definitely cursed. Here we have deer. The deer have 2 antlers that do not actually match up. And then the back leg of the deer here, this back leg is doing some real wonky stuff. And then our alpaca has like a goatee going on, which like could be a stylistic option, but after looking at the other animals, I think we can confirm that that's probably not the case. They also have this, which they're showing you, wow, here are brushes for body line work. These are also what I suspect to be Gen AI. Let me screenshot this and show you, because then it will take a look and it's like, this looks a bit odd. This looks a bit suspicious. Let's see. Let's take a look. Okay. We have body line work now. What is off about this? Well, there's like sketch lines that don't make sense. I don't know what the purpose of having these like sketch lines coming out of the head. They're like little antennas. But if you look at the anatomy is very odd. Here we have the back shoulder. I'm using my mouse, so it's very wobbly, sloping down here. You would assume the back would continue here in some way, you know, but the back continues this way. So what happened behind the arm? Like, where exactly is the back going? Like, it's just a bit odd. The anatomy is not adding up correctly here. And then we again have odd sketches. It's giving AI. It's definitely giving Gen AI. Oh God. And then we have this. This is giving nightmare fuel. Here we have somebody who hasn't really shown us any of their own artwork, right? And all of a sudden they are capable of 3D modeling in a very hyper-realistic style. 3D modeling is hard, guys. It takes a long time to learn to be able to 3D sculpt a head in this way. Maybe it's not 3D sculpted, maybe it's hand-drawn and they just hand-drew the head this many times. They just claimed that they have 85 3D brushes, so I'm assuming it is 3D modeled. But yeah. Maybe they have a really strong background in 3D modeling that we just never saw. I'm a bit hesitant to believe that, given the fact that there have been evidence of what looks like AI usage in the past in what they're selling. It's a bit hard for me to believe that this is legitimate, but everything else isn't. You know what I mean? But again, right? Could always be wrong. And then here they have videos of them using it. One thing that I also find interesting is the fact that the brushes are advertised as like different angles, you know? So we're supposed to have like a front angle, side angle, profile angle. These aren't all the same faces though. Like this is not this person, which is not this person. Now maybe these are 3 different people brushes, right? Like this is person A, person B, person C. But if they are supposed to be the same person, they're not. The anatomy is different. The chin on these 2 heads look more recessed than this head, which could potentially indicate that it's AI, because AI will have differences. This is sometimes you see with like generated character designs. you can tell the AI, hey, make this character and give me a side profile, give me a front profile. It will not get it like 100% correct. Or it could just be different brushes. I personally am convinced that the other brushes I showed you, the animal ones, are most definitely AI, especially because this account already has a lot of Gen AI on it. Looking sus to me. I would love to hear your thoughts about the brushes. Do you think they're AI? Do you think they have a really good hidden background in 3D modeling? Again, don't send hate to the creator. At the end of the day, this is just to make you guys aware when you are purchasing these things on how to spot what could be AI and what could maybe not be. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators like emotes. And on Coffee, I have free resources for creators like a free sponsorship guide. And I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch you guys there or in another video.